Hello, my name is James. I'm the host of the Teamworks podcast. This podcast is about the gaming world and beyond. So if you're a big gamer like myself and you just love anything to do with gaming, then you come to the right place. Every week we try and get a new guest onto the show to listen to their story, why they became a gamer, what first console they ever played on, and so on. The aim is to get noticed and get some of the big names on the show as well. So if you feel like you want to have a chat with us and come on the show, feel free to do so. And yeah, that is what the podcast is all about. And I hope you enjoy it, guys. This is Teamworks Podcast. A team that works together stays together.
Get on top! Get on top! Hit me! Come get me! I bite butt! Get shit bit me! Gorilla! Contilla! Samadiana! Salmonella! Come with me cause I'm an ass killer! Yo, ill butt! I'm Miller! I'm a linger on your block and give the finger to a cop band! Pick a lock before I'm...
Hello everyone and welcome back to Teamworks. This is season 3 and we're on episode 3. In this week's episode we are talking to ALESSANDRO from LBRTY Games. Thank you for joining us and thank you for coming on the podcast, mate.
Well, thank you for your invitation, James.
Not a problem. So just before we go into, talking about the game world and all that, just tell me and me listeners a little bit about yourself, if you don't mind.
Yes, I'm Alessandro. I am project manager during the day, but during the night I enjoy to create these little games, these point-and-click puzzle games, and I love it.
Nice. And then, when did you start all this, mate?
Well, it's a long story because I started in 2007 with some of my friends. We start, like a club of programming and projects, different projects. Just little games, and then we work together. We do this point and click named Backsliding, who was very spread around the world. There was no social network, or at least not so very popular social network. So we go out only in Italian market magazine. It's a magazine named Giochi per il mio computer. That means games for my computer. From then we stopped. Some of us started university, etc., work, the things of the life. And then during pandemic, I was at home. I have not so much to do. Anybody can go out. So I started to do a little horror point-and-click game named Night of the Ritual. And from there, I joined the indie game community, and I started to do more games, more little games.
Oh, fantastic! And so do you make games then?
I restarted to do games in 2020. But I know how to program. I love art. So there are different passion that and with them I going on. I started just on little projects.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. I mean, it's best to start off little, and then obviously you gradually improve, and you know more what you're doing and that. But it's great that you only just started in 2020, like you say, and making games must be fun, must be really fun, but it could be very stressful as well.
Yes, I think it's definitely stressful. I enjoy when a project come to life, when I see other people that play my games is something that give me a ton of joy. I like to see my little project played by YouTubers. That is the fun part, but not every aspect of it is very joyful. Sometimes you have to have motivation to complete the project, but do little projects is better because you have the sensation of completing something.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Well, it's like that with all games now, isn't it? Because you know yourself, the bigger the project is, that the harder you have to work at it, and like you just said, then the smaller the project is, you can get it completed, and it's fantastic. You'll have to send me a link to what your project is, and I'll have a look at it, because it sounds amazing what you're doing, and you must fully enjoy it when you get it finished.
Yeah. For now, I completed some game jam. I work a lot on game jam.
Yeah.
Because they have a little time space in which you have to complete the project, and there is already an audience that want to play them. The same audience of game jam and the people around them. So it's the funniest part, maybe.
Yeah, isn't it? I mean, seeing people playing it and having fun on it, that's got to be the most enjoyable part, because, being behind the game and making it, you just want to make sure you get it right. But then when you see people playing on it and they're really, really enjoying it, that just makes it even better. It makes it well worth it making the games, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so you spoke about you make games, and you're starting from a little project which you want little projects to come out and people to try them as soon as possible, as soon as you get them all done and all that. But what I want to ask you is what does gaming do to you? What do you like what do you like a lot about gaming? I mean, to me, gaming is just amazing. It's something that you have for when you've had a hard days at work, or it's just been a stressful day and you want to just relax and forget about everything else in the world, and just chill for a bit. So how's it for you? What is it that you love about gaming so much?
Well, actually, I chill a lot too. I mean, it's not my main job. It's not what make me pay the rent or something like that. So basically, I decide when to work and when not. About yeah, you have to have motivation to going on. So you have not to chill too much, but there are days in which you really don't want to work. You want to go out, I don't know, with your wife, do something else, do sports, any kind. So I don't have a problem with that. Regarding what I like about games, it's all the artistic wave of indie games. Games like Paper Please, which can tell a story with some puzzle, with few elements. I think it's very brilliant. That guy is a genius. I like the way in which art, storytelling, and puzzle going along and create the magic. So my first motivation for working on game it's because I'm amazed by that work, this kind of works.
It does, doesn't it?
It's what motivates me to make something like that, to create a little world in which everything come alive, and this is very, very cool, James.
I know what you mean, and you know what? It's what you just said there is basically everything. I mean, you're saying that it motivates you making these games and all that. The gaming world in general does that to you, because there's just something about the gaming world that just makes people want to get up and do something and for their lives. And then it's amazing, the gaming world, and I just love it. And there's so many things you could say, and it is a really good feeling when you're part of the gaming world, isn't it?
Yes, even that, even reception of games are absolutely important. But all the world around the indie game is very exciting. I mean, there are around a ton of people who are very amazing. Both Lucas Pope, but even Amanita Designs, even LBRTY Games. They are my main inspiration on go ahead with games, on developing.
Look, I think I'll still be playing games when I'm in my 90s, mate. So that's what gaming does to you, because it just never leaves you, does it? No, definitely not. So it's amazing, listening to you love creating games, and you basically like making games for people to enjoy, and I think that's absolutely amazing. And do you play many games yourself? I mean, what was the first console you played on, mate?
I played. Well, I'm 37 years old.
Oh, you're not much older than me then, so it's all right.
Are you 35, right?
34.
Okay.
You're close. You're close.
Quite close. Well, I play quite quite everything. I mean, I started with Game Boy, the first Game Boy. So,
Oh, yeah. Oh,
so
the first Game Boy was...
I'm a Nintendo fan. I'm a Nintendo fanboy. My love for Wario, not Mario, but Wario Land. I don't know if you ever played.
Which one was that?
A quit. Okay. I don't know if you know Pizza Boy.
Pizza Boy,
it's an indie game. Yeah, it's inspired by Wario. It's amazing that quite everything is inspired by Nintendo, even nowadays.
I know, yeah.
It's amazing. Then I had an NES.
NES, yeah.
Nintendo Entertainment, yes. The Super Mario Brothers 3, etc., etc. And my parents didn't want to buy me a PC at the time.
Yeah.
But there was a way to have a free PC.
A free PC? Well, send it my way.
It's an old story because there was this marketing label who give you a PC, a 486, a DOS PC.
Yeah.
They give that PC, but you have to compile forms for them. What you buy, what you like, etc. It was an era before social networks, so the marketing firms work in that way. So we have a free PC.
Wow, that's good, isn't
it? Yeah, it was a really old story. So here I play a ton of DOS games.
Yeah.
Really a lot of DOS games, everything. But especially LucasArts games. So, point and click by LucasArts that were Monkey Island 2, Sam & Max, Day of the Tentacle. And when I was a kid, and I was amazed by that work, by the artwork, by the story.
Yeah.
And I think that I played Monkey Island 2 like
Monkey Island,
50 times, 60 times. When you are a child, or when you see a child that want to watch that cartoon a lot of times.
Yeah, you do, don't you?
It was the same thing.
Well, it's the same when you really like a game that much, you play it over and over and over again until it's like you say, 30 odd times, isn't it? So you lose track on how many times you played it. But that's what I love about gaming. And you said your first console was a Game Boy, right?
Yes.
Do you remember the what game was it? The Harry Potter games that were on it?
Oh no!
Oh my god! If you look back at them now, you think to yourself, "Why did I like that?" But back then, it was brilliant because that's all you had back then, and it was amazing, wasn't it? The Game Boy. What Game Boy did you have, by the way? The original, did you say?
Yeah, the original, the red one. I had a Game Boy Camera too.
Yeah, I did as well. That was a brilliant one as well. I mean, Nintendo with handheld consoles have never disappointed, have they? No.
Now maybe we don't see anymore an handheld console. I mean, the Switch is an hybrid, but an hardware only handheld, maybe we will not see anymore.
Probably not, because I think that these days now it's all new stuff, isn't it? Next gen stuff as well, and It's a shame, really, because I would like to see. What I would like to see, we're talking about Game Boys and all that. I would like to see if they remade the original Game Boy. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Do you imagine
Absolutely.
you could have a port in it where it allows you to put it to TV as well? That would be quite amazing, wouldn't it?
What I loved about that devices, the Android devices, is they have a lot of hardware limitation.
Yeah.
And around that limitation, they make the games. So why Game Boy games are so iconic even today for their sound, for their graphics?
Yeah.
The green pixel that
Yeah.
kind of imaginary come from limitation. So it's something that today we will not see anymore. Maybe it is for that reason that I love Game Boy.
Yeah, do you imagine if we had another Game Boy? I mean, they could upgrade the games as well, couldn't they?
Maybe it's a sentence of a boomer player, but it's true. Even now on each go out, they make games based on Game Boy ROM limitation.
I mean, the closest to Game Boy
ROM.
now. Sorry, mate. I was just going to say the closest to Game Boy now is Nintendo Switch, isn't it? Because you can still play the old games through it if you got the online entertainment system on it.
Yeah, I know, but what I mean is they making games based on the original Game Boy.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Even nowadays.
Yeah, it's a shame that you can't bring it back. I mean, it would be brilliant if they did, wouldn't it?
Yeah, they were brilliant engineers that working on limitations and built imaginary on that. Even the first PlayStation is iconic for their weird 3D games. I mean, now you see everything really defined. High-res texture, perfect 3D games. But I love limitation. I love that the brain of the player elaborate.
Yeah, I like that. I do like the fact that now games are enhanced, if you want to say. I mean, it's all about next gen now, isn't it, rather than last gen. So last gen, it's forgotten now, which is it's forgotten, and it isn't, because there's some last gen games that have come back. I mean, one of the particular games I really want to come back, and it was such an amazing game, is Simpsons Hit and Run. Did you ever play that one?
Saint Row?
Simpsons Hit and Run.
No. I didn't play that.
That was a fantastic game. I mean, that was back on the PlayStation 2. That one, so I don't know whether you had a PlayStation 2.
No, I mean, I had a PlayStation 2, but I didn't play that one. I was more a Prince of Persia guy.
Oh, yeah. And they've just brought a new game out, haven't they, as well? Well, recently.
Yeah, I haven't played it, honestly. But I see that they do a different thing.
Yeah.
It's more a Metroidvania, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I've never tried it myself, but I've seen it, and I've seen a few little clips of it. But it looks good.
Yeah, it looks good. I'm sorry about Ubisoft situation.
Oh yeah, no. Tell me about Ubisoft. They've just closed. They've closed the servers down for the very first crew, haven't they? And I think they're starting to close a few more servers on games, but it's a shame really, because Ubisoft were good. I mean, some games are brilliant from Ubisoft. Don't get me. I mean, I loved playing Watch Dogs 2 and stuff like that. They were just brilliant games.
Yes. Maybe, I don't know, maybe their problem is they do big games, a lot of them. I don't know if the people have all that time to play one single game.
Yeah.
But I don't know, honestly.
No, we all don't know. That's the thing. You can't say never, because you never know. You never know. They might bring a new game off that game that they're closing down eventually. You just don't know, do you? That's the thing. We all don't know. We just have to wish.
Well, let's hope not. We will see what will happen.
Yeah, definitely, mate. And you know what? Do you know what I also love about is that games are becoming TV shows and movies now, and I think that's incredible. What was your point of games becoming TVs and movies? What do you like about it?
I love it. In some cases, they do a very good job. For example, I just finished to watch the first season of Fallout.
Oh yeah, that was absolutely fantastic, mate. I really enjoyed that one.
Yeah, they did a great work to rebuild the world of the game. But in some cases, this don't work that well. I mean, in the 90s, I don't know if you remember Street Fighter.
Yeah, Street
movie.
Fighter. Yeah. I don't know whether I watched that movie, because that's going back years ago now, isn't it?
I watched it back at the days,
Yeah.
but they were not much respectful about the original work. But even Super Mario Brothers, the first movie, I don't know if you ever watched it.
And the very original, is that was that in the 90s? Was it when it came out, that one?
Yeah, in the 90s, always in the 90s.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Did I watch it? I mean, I was young myself. Do you know what? It's that far back. I can't remember. I would have been a little kid then, but
well,
yeah.
Well, they are all awful movies. Now they are doing really good work. But
yeah.
Fallout, even the Super Mario movie by DreamWorks.
Yeah, that was
Even
fantastic. The one that was it 2 years ago when it came out, that one? Yeah. That was fantastic. And you know what? I couldn't understand when people were saying that Chris Pratt wasn't really good as Mario. In my eyes, I thought he was really good.
Yeah, even in mine, they did a really great job. Even Sonic. Even Sonic movie was really good. I think not at the start when they announced it, but after I watched it, it was an enjoyable movie.
It was, and you know what? I went to watch was the Assassin's Creed movie, and that didn't do very well. And I went to watch it with my mate, and I thought it was okay. It wasn't the worst, but it wasn't the greatest. But I think it would have been better if they brought Assassin's Creed out as a TV series rather than a movie, because you know yourself, with a TV series you can go a bit further in depth with the story. A movie is just like a one-off thing, isn't it? And then you don't see a movie for a few years then. With your TV series, it's all episodes based, isn't it? So you get to see more of a story, if you know what I mean.
Well, yes, maybe work better as a TV series.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Assassin's Creed can nail it in a TV series.
Well, Netflix.
Even with
Sorry, come on, mate.
sorry, James. No, I was thinking that even with the original story of Assassin's Creed about Animus, about you have different time frame.
Yeah.
One on the present, one in the past.
Yeah.
And that could really work well on a series, on a series of episodes.
Do you know what? I think that would work. Because they could do. They could basically do maybe first season they do one of his future, the one off him now, and then season 2 could be his past, maybe, or they could do it by each episode, maybe. I don't know how it would work, but yeah, it would look good, wouldn't it?
Yeah, maybe it's imagination, but it is a suggestion. But they can do one season on I don't know, in the ancient Rome, one season on ancient Egypt, and so on. And the main story could be that one of the Animus on the present.
Yeah, they could be, and you know what, that would definitely work, I would imagine. Yeah, definitely.
But what I'm waiting now is this series that was announced on the Gamescom, maybe. I don't remember well.
Yeah.
Secret Level.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. That'll be really good. That, I mean, what I think what I love what they're doing is, I mean, Netflix. That's the only thing is, Netflix said they were going to make a Horizon TV series. There's a Horizon Zero Dawn, and recently they've just come out and said they've cancelled it. Now I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that they rethink and they say they're gonna actually carry it on, but they just literally cancelled it out of the blue. So it's a strange one, that.
Well, it's a shame if they cancelled it.
Yeah, I think it could have worked, especially as a TV series, because I couldn't imagine that game as a movie, just because there's just so many storylines to it, and it can carry on. Which, yourself, with a movie, it's like I say before, it's just a one straight thing you're watching, and with games like that, they've got so much to explain, so episodes is better. But they did actually do a good job on the Uncharted movie, though. I mean, at first I was undecided whether it was going to be a good movie, just because that's another game. Uncharted, in the games itself, is run by episodes. I wanted it as a TV series originally, but when the movie did come out and I did go and watch it, I thought they did a good job. So sometimes when you think something's not good enough to be a movie, it can actually be a good movie. I mean, like I say, Uncharted was brilliant when I went to watch it.
Honestly, I didn't watch it, but I will see it in the future, absolutely. But I don't know what to say about that.
No, so have you played the Uncharted games before?
No. I jumped the PlayStation 4. But let's say from PlayStation 3 generation, I switched to Xbox.
Oh yeah.
So I have not played Uncharted, The Last of Us, Horizon Zero Dawn. I did not play that games. Even I think that absolutely they are amazing. I think.
There's still time to play them, mate, I'm telling you. Especially, you'll love the Uncharted series. The Uncharted series just gets to you. It's a series that you'll play right through and you just fully enjoy. And The Last of Us as well. I mean, what's funny about The Last of Us, though, is the fact that it's been... It originally came on the PS3, then it got remastered to the PS4, and then it got a remake for the PS5, and now for the PS5 Pro, it's getting another remake. I mean, why? How many remakes and remasters do you want for just the same game? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I ever seen that they want to do a remaster of Horizon.
Yeah, and you know what? They've sort of done that. They've come out and said now that with the PS5 Pro, they are doing a remastered version for the PS5 Pro. So, you know,
yeah. Well, it's. I don't know what to say about that because the first party games are absolutely awesome.
Yeah.
I guess because I didn't play it, but the idea that I have is they are aware of the risk of proposing something new. It's like Sony have lost. How to say? I've lost a little bit his soul.
Yeah, do you know what? I was just going to say that as well because I was on two other lads' podcasts the other week, and when they were coming to ask me about Sony, they said that basically what I was going to say is that Sony have actually they've lost ideas a little bit when it comes to games. It's like they know people will buy a game, so because they've got no ideas new ideas, they're remastering games so many times because they know it will sell again.
Well, the first true PlayStation have their soul because was born in Japan, so the first PlayStation group by themselves, a lot of software house that come from Japan. There was that crazy games that have their own culture, like Parappa the Rapper, for example. All that crazy games, Ape Escape.
Brilliant game.
Yeah, and now if I see the games by Sony, movie games that are very detailed, but not much more. I see now that Asobo Studio make that game about a robot. What is his name? I don't remember now.
No, I can't remember that, but yeah, I know what you're talking about, because there was a big thing about it, wasn't there?
You know, that game that come out with by Asobo Studio.
Trying to think which game it was now, but there's that many games.
Astrobot.
Oh yeah,
Astrobot.
that's the one. Yeah.
Okay. And that was the only studio that stayed in Japan. The studio that make Astrobot was made by some the developer of Japan, of ex Japan studio by Sony.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, because I remember there was a big thing about it. People were saying, "Why is it not in any other country?" Because it looked like a good game, didn't it?
I like to see that Sony make some different games.
Yeah.
Not only that kind of game.
Don't get me. I like there is some games that Sony are making, and they are new and fresh, but there's a lot of remasters, and I don't think people quite need a lot of remastered games, especially a game like The Last of Us that's been remastered how many times? About 4 times, something like that. I don't see the point in that. The PS5 Pro was coming out in November, and in my money country, it's around about £700. I mean, that's ridiculous. Just for I mean, I've got the PS5 as it is now, and that's just as good as it is. And the PS5 Pro, yeah, it's got some little improvements to it, but is it worth £700? And that's the big question. People have been asking, is it actually worth £700? And the answer for me, no, it's not worth it at all.
Yeah, but I see that they sold a lot of PlayStation 5 Pro. Even for me, is ridiculous.
I know a lot of people pre-ordered them.
Even from my point of view, is ridiculous. But
yeah,
as a company, maybe they're right, because they sold a ton of them, like 5 million. They sold out everything on the first week.
Yeah.
Maybe our Sony are the core fans.
Was that the PlayStation Portal?
Yeah, I haven't. I didn't like even that that thing, honestly, because it's not a portable. It's not like a Switch.
No, it's not. It's ridiculous.
But they sold everything, so maybe they're right. I don't know.
That's the thing with Sony is the people will buy the stuff. I mean, don't get me. I've always been a Sony fan, but I'd never upgrade. I mean, I didn't do it with the PS4. When the PS4 came out, I thought, well, this is brilliant, this. And then they announced the PS4 Pro, and I went, it's not worth upgrading to a PS4 Pro when I've already got a PS4. I mean, it's okay if you're new and you haven't got the PS4 yourself, and you just go, oh, you know what, I might as well get the PS5 Pro because it's the PS4 Pro or PS5 Pro, because it's my first console from them. So, you would do it then. But when you've had the original console, you won't upgrade just for a little bit more powerful performance, really, will you? Just because there's not much difference.
It's different. I mean, because on PlayStation 4, on the PlayStation 4 generation, they did a great job even with games. When the PlayStation 4 comes out, it was justified to upgrade, because the games really work at limit on basic PlayStation 4 machine. But now there are not so many PlayStation 5 games that use the maximum power of the console.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. You know, because you look back from the PlayStation 3 days, there were so many fantastic games that they brought on the PlayStation 3, and then the PS4 came out, and there were so many fantastic titles on there. There is quite a few PS5 titles, but there's not as many, like you say, and that definitely used the power of the PlayStation 5 the way it should do. I just think, you know, Sony have gone a bit back in time. Well, not in time, but they've gone a little bit back, and they've not thought of new ideas. So the only idea they've got is, let's remaster a game 4 times. You know, so I'm hoping that there's going to be new games coming out, and they will be. I mean, you've got the new Wolverine game that's meant to be releasing next year, or beginning next year sometime. You've got Death Stranding, the new Death Stranding game coming out. So there is a few little games coming out, you know, new games, but there could be more, like you say.
I see that they have a list of enhanced games from basic PlayStation 5.
Yeah, because it's what they've done is they've basically grabbed games off the PS5 as it is now, and they've slightly improved it for the PS4. For the PS5 Pro when it gets released in November, because it comes out in November. It's £700 for people in the UK, and people will buy it because people do. But me, I won't be upgraded. I'm just staying with the original PS5 myself.
Yeah, I love PlayStation, honestly, but what they are doing in these years is not that good. It's like they are on a creativity crisis, because it seems like they put out a lot of new hardware. They trying to monetize on the same users, like PlayStation Portal, but even PlayStation VR that comes out that was not supported. But I'm sorry about that, because they had a lot of creativity in the last years, even on PlayStation 4 generation.
Yeah.
And now it seems like only monetization. It's now, you know, on my free time, sometimes I play on Game Pass. I don't know if you ever used the Xbox Game Pass.
Well, I have the Xbox One S, because it was my brother's old Xbox, because he's got the newer Xbox in it. I thought, you know, give it to me as a, you know, I may as well have it, and it's best of both worlds, isn't it? So we used to do game share on there, and we used to pay half each for Game Pass, and we had Game Pass for ages and ages, but then the price went up on it ridiculous, and we just didn't see the point of paying for it again. But I do have, I think I've got 3 months of PC Game Pass, so I will be using that in the next few months.
What I like, definitely use it if you can, because what I like about that platform, that Game Pass, is that you have both AAA games and even indie games that maybe you will not. It's not that famous. It's not that marketable. But there are little gems of games. I like that in that catalog you can discover that kind of games that are absolutely crazy, sometimes even crazy games.
I mean, I love that. I love the fact that Game Pass used to be brilliant. I mean, it's gone a little bit off recently, as in, they don't bring as many new games to it now, I don't think. But they've stopped monthly games now on it, haven't they? Because Xbox Live doesn't exist anymore. It's basically just in Game Pass now. That's the subscription. You pay for Game Pass, you get online. But don't get me. There was some brilliant things about Game Pass, and the thing I liked the most about Game Pass was the day one releases, because some of the day one releases was absolutely brilliant. Going to PlayStation Plus, though, PlayStation Plus went from just being one tier, and that was like it used to be £50, and I thought, this is brilliant. It's not bad. £50 for the year. I'll take that. And then obviously they brought this new subscription out, which has got obviously the same tier that you used to have, which give you monthly games and a few little discounts. But now you have an extra and a premium tier, and obviously the extra tier gives you a library full of PS4 games and some PS5 titles. If you want to upgrade for the premium, you get streaming, so you can stream PS3 games. You can stream PS4 games, and now you can stream PS5 games. So you don't have to download and games these days, they take a lot of space, so you're saving space by doing that. But then again, it all depends on your internet and how good your internet is, because yourself, if you stream games and your internet's not great, it's going to buffer. Well, and the prices have gone up now as well. I mean, for a year, if you want to get the top tier, which is the premium, and it includes the original one that you had, which you get monthly games and discounts, and obviously the middle tier, which you get PS4 full library of PS4 titles and PS5 title, and then obviously the premium that gives you streaming plus classic games from the PS1 and PS2 days, and sometimes you get a PSP game on there as well, which is going back ages ago. But they've put up the price to £120 for the year. I mean, that is quite expensive, isn't it?
Much?
Yeah, £120 for the year for to get all that.
Well, okay, I get it.
Yeah, so it can be quite expensive, can't it? And that's what I'm saying about the PS5. The PS5 Pro that's meant to be coming out in November it's like £700. I mean, you can get a half decent PC for around about that price, can't you, these days?
Well, going ahead, I think that maybe I will go on PC only
Yeah.
at this point.
To be fair though, I did actually buy myself a PC. Was it a year ago, maybe, or just under? And you know what? At first, I thought to myself, I'm never going to get a PC. But then I saved up, and I thought, you know what? Why not? I said it'll be good for my podcast because I was recording through my phone, and the app that I was using it wasn't great, and I thought I do need something better to record my podcast episodes on. So a PC just sounded right, and I stream as well on Twitch. So you know yourself with streaming on PC, you can put overlays on and everything on, which you can't do with consoles when you're streaming. And and games are cheaper. I mean, you can get games £10 cheaper than you do on a console. So it's well worth a gaming PC, isn't it?
Yeah, but even Sony dropped out some of their game on Steam. Not of all of them, but you can play even Sony games on PC.
Yeah, you can.
Even Xbox. Yeah. So maybe PC is the better alternative.
Yeah.
PC and Nintendo Switch 2 or whatever their new console will be.
Yeah, the Switch has got a Switch 2 coming out, apparently. Yes, that's right.
Okay, so your guess is that the name will be Switch 2.
Yeah, yeah, I know, yeah. We just basically said it, didn't we?
Yeah, for me too. They don't want to invent another name.
No, I mean...
It will be Switch, definitely. I agree.
Don't get me, I've got the original Switch, and for me, I have to say, Nintendo have always been fantastic for handheld consoles. Now, PlayStation, they had so much potential. I mean, the PSP was a fantastic handheld. The PS Vita was actually a really good handheld, but they fell out of love with it. I mean, they stopped making games for it 3 years after it was released. And I'm thinking to myself, well, you're not giving that handheld console a very long time to achieve, have you? So they fell out of love with that, and the PS Vita just didn't get looked after, and the loves just stopped for it, and then they brought this Portal out, and I'm thinking to myself, you know what you've basically just done? You've cut a PS5 controller up in half and stuck it to an Android tablet. That's basically what they've done, isn't it?
Yeah, it was awesome. PlayStation Vita was an awesome handheld. It's a shame because it had a lot of potential, even nowadays. But again, it's like if Sony did not sell so much Android consoles, it won't support it. Sorry. And it's the same for all the hardware that they make. Even like we said before with PlayStation VR, it's a shame that they did not support their hardware more.
Yeah.
Because they have even good ideas.
Yeah.
But they have maybe to wait more, maybe to do more marketing on that devices.
Yeah, and do you know what? I think Sony would benefit from now is if they brought another handheld console out. I mean, there is rumours about psp2 coming out, and that's strange. The way if that goes the way I think it is, that means they've gone from handheld. If you look at handhelds, they've gone from PSP to PS Vita, and then gone back to the PS2. PSP2, which you think to yourself, they've gone around in a circle there, but a PSP2 would be absolutely brilliant. When I was talking to the few lads on their podcast the other week, we mentioned on the PSP, it was amazing that you could get then UMD's disc, which was basically the movies that you could watch on the PSP. It was like a little mini DVD player as well, wasn't it?
Yeah. It was ancient technology. I remember that.
Yeah, and I thought that was brilliant. I thought that handheld console was fantastic because they had fantastic games to it, and they had a little DVD. You could buy little DVDs for it, and I thought that was brilliant.
Yeah, it was crazy. If I think now, that was a crazy console for the time.
Hello there, have you heard about our partners, TerraPlayer? TerraPlayer is an internet radio station for gamers, so every time our episodes release, they will automatically go onto their website. So it's a fantastic little partnership, and we hope for more to come in the future. So yeah, that is our partnership, guys, and yeah, let's get back to the episode.
Because was before smartphone, so they put the DVD on the console. It's like was a DVD player.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but it was also the miniature, the small cases they used to come in as well. So as a DVD case, it's far bigger. But then you had these small discs that came in a smaller version to a DVD case. I thought that was fantastic the way they did that.
Yeah, it was crazy if you think now, but yeah, it's something of that years during the transition from digital support to the internet, like mobile did some years after.
Yeah, and you know what? It is a shame, but I'm hoping that the rumours are true and the PSP2 is going to be releasing in the next 50 years. Well, I might not be here then, but no, I mean the next few years, because I think it's been a long time, and we definitely want to see a PSP2, don't we?
Yeah, with little DVD.
Yeah, with little
DVD. Yes.
Yeah, they need to bring them little DVDs back as well. Yeah, I think that'd be amazing. That.
Yeah, I forget about that, honestly. Now that you remember me, it was crazy. It was crazy technology for time.
I used to love it. I mean, I don't remember much of my childhood. Like, I don't think anyone does. But I do remember owning a PSP and going, taking it in the car when you're on a car journey, and not just playing games, but putting these little DVDs into your handheld console, and I thought that was just amazing. But it was funny at the same time, because you think, this is genius. This Sony have actually come together to make a handheld console that actually has their own version of a DVD. That is just genius. And why they can't do that again, I don't know. But hopefully the PSP2 will come out and he will bring them UMDs, as they were called, which was DVDs, but basically for the PSP. Hopefully they'll bring them out again, and hopefully there is actually a PSP2 around the corner. Fingers crossed, mate?
I remember that I didn't have a PlayStation Vita, but one of my friends have that console, and he's the kind of guy who want to have all the latest technology, all the cool technology, It's a guy that now want to have the last version of iPhone. I remember that one time we see a movie on the train to go to school with this PlayStation Vita and sorry, PSP.
Yeah, because they're both similar, weren't they? I mean, the PS Vita. The difference with the PS Vita basically was it went to like little memory cards, the games, didn't they? And obviously the only way you could play movies from that is if you downloaded them off a website or anything straight to the console. Which, do you know what? I still got my PS Vita, believe it or not. I don't have my PSP, unfortunately, because it's sadly, I think, died. I think the battery went on it. But yeah, the PSP was brilliant. And
I love it more PlayStation Vita, even because they have the touch behind the console, in the back of the console.
That was quite annoying sometimes as well, that, though, because if you're playing a game like FIFA, for example, you could easily touch the back, and you play. I'm like, why is my players not moving? Oh, it's because I'm touching the back. So, yeah, I mean, it had potential, the Vita, and I really wish that they stayed on it. But after 3 years, I think it was, or it might have been less than 3 years, they sadly said, "Oh, we don't want to work on the Vita anymore." I think that was just sad the way they did that.
But it's sad that they didn't support it anymore. But let's cross the finger for PSP2.
Yeah,
I didn't know about that rumor.
To be fair, though, the PSP2 would be awesome. I mean, I've heard rumours what it could do, and it could play basically every single PS4 title on it, and it will be enhanced to play selected PS5 titles as well. Now, that'll be some handheld console, wouldn't it?
Okay. If a PSP2 come out, I will buy it, definitely.
I think I will.
You sell it to me. Okay.
Yeah, do you know what, though? The thing is, though, that's what people would do. They will buy so many of them, and then there will be none left for anyone to get anyway. So it happened with the PS5, didn't it? I mean, the PS5 was very, very slow. It was very slow on what it did, especially when it was released. I mean, lucky enough, on the day it was releasing, the pre-orders, actually, my dad managed to get on the site before it crashed on him. And when it crashed, he thought, oh no, it hasn't gone through. My purchase hasn't gone through. But then about 10 minutes later, he got an email confirming that it's gone through, and I went, thank God for that, because I know a lot of people had problems getting the PS5 when it first came out.
He was one of the few lucky guys.
I say I'm lucky, but my friend was even luckier, because he seen a post saying that Argos are going to be putting the pre-orders up about midnight. So he stayed up thinking, I'm going to get a pre-order in here. Anyway, nothing came up. He waited till 2 o'clock in the morning. Nothing came up. And by then, he's got that tired that he's fell asleep. So anyway, he's fell asleep and he missed the orders. Lucky enough, his brother had this, I think it was a website or an app that told you which places are going to have them in on pre-order and where you can pre-order them on and when you can. So his brother put a pre-order in, and thank God he got a pre-order in the end. So he managed to get it. So he was more lucky than me because he thought he couldn't. He thought that was it. He didn't get a PS5 then, but his brother managed to get. He was on some website that told you when they're going to be coming back on pre-orders and all that. So he was lucky. He was more lucky than me, mate.
I remember that during these days, very few people managed to buy it, and some weeks after on eBay or website like that, PlayStation 5 was even 1,000 of euro.
Yeah, a lot of money that.
Because the people resell it because there wasn't enough PlayStation 5.
No, there wasn't. For some reason, they just literally they couldn't ship them. Apparently, they came by plane in the end, didn't they? And not a lot came. For some reason they had lack of pre-orders. So I don't know how they went wrong there, but I think it was during lockdown, wasn't it? So I think they struggled to get them over.
Yeah, absolutely.
But they were definitely slow, and they've been slow with PS5 titles for sure. I mean, there is some that have come out. There's more coming out now in the upcoming months, but it is late because how long has the PS5 been out for? I think it's like 4 or 5 years now. So yeah, it's let's just hope that Sony do turn things around. I mean, don't get me, I always like Sony because they have brought fantastic games out in the past. I mean, like Uncharted, The Last of Us, Horizon Zero Dawn, God of War. I mean, some of them games is just phenomenal. And if you're looking for consoles with the most better exclusive games, you would say PlayStation are still winning. But if you're looking to get more games and more benefit out of your money, PC at the moment, because even though PC can be quite expensive when you upgrade the parts in it, it's probably a bit cheaper than a console these days, because especially the PS5 Pro, when that comes out, it's going to be £700. Now, like I say, you can get a half decent PC for that around about that price anyway now, can't you?
Maybe the solution is only go to retro gaming.
Yeah.
So you have not to spend a lot of money or on PC on upgrade it, and you can enjoy a lot of games. Yeah. Even PlayStation 4 era games now. I think that if you buy a notebook, a quite powerful notebook, you can play them.
Definitely.
Maybe not at the best of fidelity or not 60 frames per second, but maybe you can play it.
Definitely, mate. And do you know what? I think it's settled it, isn't it? That Sony have slowed down in like bringing newer games out for the newer gen, and handheld console, they've just fell out of love out of that. I remember they weren't going to bring crossplay to games just because they said, I don't think we need it in our software. But then they did. They brought it out eventually anyway because a lot of people wanted it. Because yourself, you want to play your friends regardless what platform they're on. So you don't want to buy a new console just because it's there and you can play another game with your friend. You want to be able to be on the console that you choose to be on, but still be able to play with your friends. I think it makes perfect sense, and a lot of games are doing that now.
Yeah, if you're a fan of multiplayer, maybe is the case.
Yeah.
In my case, I don't like that much multiplayer, so so I have absolutely no problem with that. But about games, I'm not a multiplayer guy. What the motivation for what I like games, even now, it's about creativity. It's about ideas. Honestly, I play more indie games than AAA games with high budget. Yeah. Sometimes I play some of them. For example, the last one that I played was Assassin's Creed Odyssey. So it's not a recent game. It's from 2019, I think. But my sensation is too much. It's a very long game.
Yeah, I mean, do you know what?
I want different. Sorry, James.
Oh, sorry, mate. I was just going to say that I totally know what you mean there. I mean, don't get me. I like playing multiplayer sometimes, like because I play certain multiplayer games with my brother or a friend of mine. But I do like a lot of single player games because, especially with a good storyline, I love anything that's got a really good story. So, if you ever try playing a PlayStation game, I do recommend like Uncharted, The Last of Us, Horizon Zero Dawn, and even if you love Greek stuff as well, God of War is brilliant as well. It is good.
Yeah. I mean, I know that PlayStation games are absolutely awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know that, but I did not play a PlayStation game for so many years right now. But I have a backlog. So
yeah,
I think that I'm a guy that it's okay with remaster of Uncharted. Okay. I buy the last one.
I was saying that Uncharted is on PC now, so you could always, relive it on the PC if you wanted to.
Even Horizon, yeah, I give a try.
Definitely, I think you'll love the story as well. It's a really good story. It's you feel like you're in a movie as well, in a sense, or a TV series, should I say? Because it's just a really good it's a really good game, and like you say, you don't even need to play multiplayer on it. It's just a single player game that you play a really good story. And in the last Uncharted, Uncharted 4, there's a scene where you go back to his house and you actually play on a PS1 or on actually the game, and you play Crash Bandicoot, the first game. How amazing is that? And that was an Easter egg, by the way. That was to it was basically saying that there's going to be another Crash Bandicoot game out, and they did. They remastered it, didn't they?
I played on Xbox. There come out some month ago on Game Pass, and it is a brilliant game. Because they remastered only the graphic, but the gameplay was absolutely the same.
Yeah.
And the first Crash Bandicoot that they remastered, the first one, the original one that comes out to PlayStation on 1996.
Yeah, it was around about that. Yeah.
Yeah, it was very hard. One thing that I remember about that game was that the third one was really easy if you don't want to collect all the stuffs. But the first one was a really tough game, a really difficult game. I died a lot of time. It was a good job.
I did, and then they obviously brought the Crash Bandicoot 4 out, didn't they? And that was actually not too bad. I mean, the way they've made Crash Bandicoot now, if you remember them from the early 90s, you look back now and you think to yourself, is that what Crash Bandicoot looked like? And because, you know, back then, the graphics are amazing to us, but we're living now in a generation where the games are like come to life, if you know what I mean. And looking to our graphics these days to years ago, like the 90s, you think to yourself, you know what, that wasn't really good quality, but it was back then.
Yeah, it's for that was a so famous game that stay alive for so many years, because it was awesome even back at the days, and it's still awesome now.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And they with the remaster and even with new Crash Bandicoot, the 4, I mean. Maybe Crash Bandicoot 4, they did really a good job, because they respected the gameplay, what was great about Crash Bandicoot. So high five for them.
Well, yeah, they remade the Crash Team Racing as well, didn't they? Do you remember that one?
I didn't play that one, but it's on my backlog, definitely.
There's that many games, mate. There's that many games on my list as well I want to play. And there's games that I've started and I've seen a new game and I think to myself, oh, that looks good. And because me and my mate do game share, basically I can access his library full of games and download on his half. And he can do the same on my half. So what we do now is we've done it since the PS4 days, because that's when game share was allowed on consoles, especially Sony. But we pay half each for games now, so it's a lot cheaper for us, because we're only paying half. But in the long run, it's quite expensive, because we're paying halves. We want to buy another game, you know, as it is, and I'm always up 60% through a game, and then we'll see a new game, and I'll start that game and I'll forget about the one that was 60% through, and I never complete a game. I mean, I have completed a few, but most of the time you never see me complete a game, because we see a new game and we say, oh, we're going to get that. My mate completes it before he plays the new game that we just recently bought. So I'm always 60% through a game and hardly finish one.
Yeah, that thing make me mad, because I'm a completionist. I like to complete
Yeah.
everything. And when they start to put the achievement on consoles, that was my end, definitely my end, because I want to have all achievement, but I have a long backlog too, so
You know what?
I don't know.
You're the same with me, because I've always wanted to complete a game, and don't get me, I have completed a few, but what I love about, you just said about achievements on consoles, and then obviously it's called trophies on PlayStation. I love that feeling that you get when you completed a mission, or you completed a side quest, or whatever it is, and that achievement or trophy pops up on the corner, top of the right hand of your screen, and it's a good feeling, because you think, oh, I'm not just playing the game for playing it. I'm playing it to earn these rewards, like little achievements, and it's quite a good feeling, isn't it? It's a good feeling.
It's quite a work, at least. It's like you're working, you are not enjoying something. So maybe it's better only to play them, and when you're tired of it, it's okay.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
There are a lot of stuff to play,
but you know what?
you have to enjoy it.
Yeah, you do, mate, and that's what it is. And the game world, you can just talk about loads of things, and it's been amazing having you on the show, Alessandro. Alessandro, it's been amazing, and you know what? We could sit here all night and talk about a load of stuff, because it never stops when you talk about games, or making games, or playing games. It's amazing. But I am going to settle it. I'm going to settle the discussion. I think PlayStation should bring psp2 out, and if they don't, I'm going to put a big thing up on the internet to get people to sign for psp2. But yeah, it's been amazing.
Okay.
Thank you for coming on the show, mate. We've gone over schedule like we sometimes do, because you just get into the zone and you start talking about a lot of really good things. And I've really, really enjoyed the chat on this week's episode. Thank you for coming on, mate.
Thank you to you, James. Thank you for your invitation.
Not a problem. So what I do at the end of each episode is basically ask 2 final questions for the guests. And the first one is, because we like to make the guests feel like, they're really welcome. And the question I want to ask you is basically, is there anyone you want to give a shout out to, mate?
Well, maybe Guga Games.
Guga Games, yeah.
It's a really talented developer that make a game similar to mine. He did a crowdfunding. He did a lot of game jams. It's a really talented guy.
Yeah, brilliant, and brilliant shout out there. Hopefully he listens to this episode when it's released, mate. Because that's a really nice shout out, and I appreciate that. Fantastic shout out. Thanks for that, mate. Last question is basically from our last guest, and our last guest, not much. He has basically asked the next question to our next guest is, let's have a look, where are we? Right, so he said, what is your favourite part of the overall gaming experience?
When I forget that I'm playing.
Yeah.
I mean, when the game gets me so much that I'm forgetting that I have a joypad on my hand, you know. I don't know if I explain well. When a game is so well made and they take it they took you into the story, into the gameplay, and you are forgetting that that you are actually playing. It's like you are living the experience.
Yeah, I know what you mean there, and that's a fantastic answer, because you feel like you're actually there rather than actually playing the game, don't you? So basically, that's what it feels like with me when I play a game. The gaming experience for me is, you switch off from the real world, and like you just said, you actually forget that you're playing the game. So I feel like that is a bit like you feel like you're rather there in the game rather than playing it. What would you say? Is that about right? Do you feel when you forget about you're actually forgetting that you're playing the game? Do you feel like you're there?
Maybe when I have a main boss, like in Elden Ring, when you have a really huge boss that you have to defeat, and you are so into understand how to beat him, and you forget everything else. You are completely stuck in the game.
Definitely, mate. And do you know what? That's a fantastic question, fantastic answer to a really good question. And I have to admit that's a fantastic question from our last guest. Thank you, Alessandro, for coming on the show. It's been a really, really good chat, mate. And you know what? You deserve a well night rest now. I think you do.
Thank you, James. It was enjoyable even for me. Thank you for your invitation.
Not a problem, mate.
Good night.
Yeah, you too, mate. And thank you. And you know what? We'll talk again, mate, because I really enjoyed it.
Sure, when you want.
Thank you, mate. And yeah, just enjoy the rest of your night, mate. And I will see you soon.
Bye. We see you soon.
Bye, mate. Bye.
Thank you, James. Bye.
Bye, mate. Thank you.
Get on top! Get on top! Hit me! Come get me! Oh, I fight, but get shit hit me! Speed baller, road scholar, a bottom bitch and a bottom dollar. Come with me, cause I'm a free baller. You good, but I holler. I'm a linger on your blocking. Give the finger to a coffin. Pick a lock before I knock off. Set you up to get on top. Get on top. Get on top. Get on top. Get on top.